He had all the classic 70s rock stuff, you know, Deep Purple, Black Sabbath, Bad Company, all that, you know, all that sort of stuff.
Was your dad's influence, was it? Your dad into that stuff?
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely, yeah. He was well into that.
Right. Was he a musician himself at all, or did he play, or?
Yeah, he does play. Plays a bit of guitar, but he's a bedroom player really. But yeah, he's every night it'd be, you know, when I'd go to bed early, I'd listen to him playing stuff in his room, and
all right.
There was always an ear of, you know, something hooked onto something somewhere. But yeah, it was definitely him that got me started into it.
Okay, and that what kind of age was that then, Lee, that you started that you picked up the guitar?
Oh, when I started playing, I was 7. I think I got my first electric when I was 8. There was just an old classical guitar knocking around in the cupboard that we've had for donkey's years. And that was 7 years old, I think, when I started playing that. And then got my first electric when I was 8.
Yeah, your dad taught you a few chords, did he, at the start? Is that how it happens?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Sorry, mate, I was going to share this around before we go too far into it. Yeah, he had a few lessons at home, and then started taking lessons at secondary school when I was there. Sort of started taking proper lessons, and I did a Saturday morning music school in Brackley for a couple of years. But yeah, that's all the sort of teaching I've really had. To be honest, 'cause I tend to learn a lot of stuff by ear, rather than music or tabs, and you know.
So the Deep Purple was your first kind of, you know, sort of major listening, those albums?
Oh yeah, definitely, that's 70s sort of classic rock. And once I went to Chendo at my secondary school, I sort of got to find out a few more bands that other people were listening to. It's.
So who was your? What about from the 70s? There's a plethora of guitarists. Who was your kind of, if you like, hero at the time when you were young? Who was your man you kind of listened to mostly?
Hendrix is the number one for me.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't really get into him until I was at secondary school, but Jimmy's. I don't know. It wasn't technically the best in the world, but he just had a bit of everything really for me, and that was that's what sort of drew me into it really.
Right. Yeah, it was pretty much a one-off, wasn't he? It was. I used to love Hendrix, but I never really learned anything by him. It was always I always thought it was a little bit too much. You know?
Really? Yeah. It's.
I think it's because I realised he was tuned down to E flat. That was the problem. Well, how the hell is he doing that?
Yeah, a lot of trying to play along with some of it is a bit of a pain, but yeah.
Yeah. Anybody else was an influence to you?
Yeah, most of the 70s guys really. Especially when I first started listening to it. It was your Gary Moore and your Clapton and Richie Blackmore, obviously. Thin Lizzy. Just the classic sort of 70s stuff, really, you know.
So your first guitar was, you said, electric guitar, not an acoustic guitar.
My first guitar was just an Encore Strat copy that had more coats of paint and different pickups put in it and things changing and things coming off and things going on. You know, it was a bit of a Frankenstein thing, but it was.
How did you learn, Lee? You said you picked it up from ear mostly?
Pretty much. Yeah, I mean the stuff I learnt at school helped, obviously, but that was just going through basic, like you would grades and learning a bit of theory and stuff, which I could never get the grasp of really. But most of it just by ear, and obviously things like YouTube and anything that you could sort of watch, and actually look at the hands and how they did it rather than trying to read.
So you wasn't classically trained at that. You
Oh
wasn't. You weren't.
no, not at all. No, I never have been, mate. No,
No.
no.
Okay. But as you got a little bit older, did you take your music education on further?
I did at college, but that was more of the recording side, technical side.
Right.
But yeah, when I did the Brackley Music School thing on a Saturday, a lot of that was theory based, which is probably why I didn't stick it out very long. But yeah, it was too much to get my head around.
Music? Is there music college still around at Brackley? Is there still music college there?
I'm not sure actually, mate. I don't know. It was at the Wainfleet section of. There's two. There was two schools in Brackley. There probably still is, but there was a I think it was Wainfleet that I went to, and there was another one. But I'm not sure if it's still going or not, to be honest.
Okay. And was there a particular teacher there that kind of really inspired you at the time?
Not particularly. No, I just thought it would be a different route to the lessons I was having at school. Really, just thought I might pick up something different, or try and find another way to learn stuff, or
Yeah. Was that really was on your mind mostly as a youngster playing music?
Yeah, pretty much. That's all. I never got any decent grades at school, so I was. It was that or not a lot really, but yeah.
You just focused on your music.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, it was guitar that you learned on. Was there anything else at that time?
At that time, no, it was just guitar. I messed around on bass, but yeah, it was just the guitar really.
Okay.
When you're that age.
What about your first band then? What was your first band that you was a school band?
Yeah, first band I was in. Our school band was Zipwire. Andy Salmons and Ben Cowper. Just been going through our old VHS tapes actually last week and found some old footage of that. So that'll be that might make an appearance on YouTube at some point.
These local guys are they as well?
Yeah,
are they still?
Well, Ben lives in. I think Ben lives in Canada now, but yeah, we all grew up. We all went to school together. Went to the same school and ended up going to college and stuff together. So, but yeah, that was just that was good. It was just your general covers again. Classic rock covers.
Yeah.
Probably wasn't that
great.
So, but
that's cool. So when you actually learned them, was it? I mean, there's different ways of learning. You just did it by ear. What about like, chords and scales and things? Was that a thing? Was that a thing you was really into? Or how did you go about learning it?
Yeah, I did the basics, the basic stuff really. I didn't want to get too involved with the theory side of thing. I just wanted to get out there and play, most of the time. But yeah, I mean, playing in the first sort of 2 or 3 bands that, school band, and then moved on to a couple of bands after that. You learn as you go. It's like driving lessons. You can learn how to play certain things, but until you get out there and do it, you sort of find your own little ways. And
yeah, it seems like a common thread. I mean, talking to other guys that I've spoken to on here, and they seem to have a similar view. You pick it up as you go along. Right. There's not just a book, is there? That you can. There's one book that you kind of pick it all up from.
Exactly. It's not.
I certainly hope not. I mean, my book I think I had was called Bert Whedon's Plain a Day.
Oh yeah. That was yeah. I've heard a couple of people use that actually.
Unbelievable book. Got to page 3, I think, and that was that's about as far as I got.
Right, yeah.
And it just I was confused. That was it. There was no chord names, just some boxes with some dots on, and it was this is it. But if anyone sees that book, it's it's quite incredible. But so moving on from there. So now then, Lee, first collaborations bands there. Who do you perform with now?
I play solo gigs on my own, acoustic,
right,
pop rock, folk covers. Do the local pubs, or any pub that'll take me, weddings, any festivals, that sort of thing. Play with a couple of theatre shows. Do an ABBA, thank ABBA for the music. It's an ABBA theatre show and a Bob Dylan tribute. the Bob Dylan Story. They're both touring theatre shows that go all over the UK. So yeah, that's.
Okay, could you tell us a little bit more about those then, Lee? So let's start with the ABBA. Thank ABBA for the music. That's right, isn't it?
Yeah.
What's the setup of that band?
It's fronted by 2 guys and 2 girls, obviously, that play the front men, and then me, Al Parker, who got me involved with it in the first place, and James, the drummer, was sort of just in the background in black. We like to be heard but not seen.
So what the main the main guys are there doing their thing with all the 70s gear on?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. They do all the dressing up stuff, and we're just in blended into the background doing our thing.
You're the engine room, as it were.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So okay. That's a good show. We do. We would probably do it well before COVID. We were probably doing 30 or 40 gigs a year with them. But they do separate gigs as well, because they can go out without a band if they need to for smaller venues, or if they're doing private shows or whatever. But we were probably doing 30 or 40 gigs with them a year. A lot of them.
So you was telling me about that when you actually play with the ABBA group. Is that you don't actually use amplifier for that?
No, it's all DI. It's the only acoustic instrument, if you like, on stage is the drums, and that's this kind of maximum level that the sound guys out front want to be working with, which is understandable because it's a lot easier if the stage volume's quiet. So
okay.
Yeah.
How do you monitor that for yourself?
We've all got the drummer's got in-ears, and me and Al have a wedge in front of us, with our instruments and some of the track and the backing track and some of the girls and guys' vocals, and I just get all my sounds off my iPad. Excuse me, I've got an app on an iPad that I can plug my guitar into and get whatever sound I want, basically. So.
Yeah, I mean the ABBA. I was just looking at listening to some tracks, and tracks come up from time to time by ABBA. And sometimes you think, ABBA, it's a bit of a dance band or whatever, but there's some serious guitar playing in there as well, isn't there? There's some serious...
A lot of people dismiss it for just a cheesy pop thing, but no, there's musicians wise, they're brilliant. Yeah.
I mean, have you got your guitar to hand there at all, Lee?
Yeah.
Do you want to give one of those riffs? I mean.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I particularly like. I'm gonna put you on the spot here, Lee.
Okay.
I particularly like the intro, which reminds me of Bon Jovi, but I know it's not.
Yeah.
Gimme, gimme, gimme. Yeah, try that one.
Okay. Yeah. That's the one, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the one. How about that?
That's it.
I thought I'd put you on the spot. I'll take one more on the spot for you. What about I think my other favourite. Does Your Mother Know? Is that one?
Yeah, that's in the set. What's that in G?
Okay.
Teasing me, it's so little that I can't take a chance on a chick like you. Yeah, something like that now. Yeah. I haven't played it for over a year, so it's a bit rusty. But
I forgot to mention at the start, that obviously Lee's multi-instrumentalist, but he's also a singer as well. Obviously, he goes out and does his own solo shows. So I know his singing is superb as well. So the other things, because you said when you don't have an amplifier, but you play through your computer or something. Is that right?
Yeah, I've just got an iPad. It's handy because I can use my iPad for like the lyrics or cues for certain songs or whatever. And I can run another app in the background that does all me guitar sounds as well. So I don't have to take any amps or pedals or anything. It's literally I can give the sound guy my guitar lead and he just DIs it straight into the desk and.
Sounds like a perfect way of
done. Yeah, it's great.
Doing a show.
I take a guitar case, a box of cables, and a bag of clothes with me to a gig, and that's it.
There's no spare valves for the.
No, exactly. No guitar amps, no spare cables, no PA to take. It's brilliant. Yeah.
What guitar have you got there then, Lee? What one do you use for that? For your other show?
For the other shot, I've got a flight case over there with two of these in it, essentially, but it's got slightly different pickups and stuff in it. But I've got a couple of Strats, exactly the same. They're slightly different bodies, but the same sort of.
Are they Fenders? Is it like a Fender? Is it something?
No, this one's well, they're all parts guitars really. I got 3 of these bodies off of Jim Breslin. Do you know Jim?
No,
you probably know. You probably would do if you saw him, but he's
right.
He's a Banbury guy. He's played for years. But I got all these bodies from him. This one's just the neck off an old Squire that I had kicking around, and the pickups are out of that as well. And then 2 of the other Strats in there. They're essentially the same as this, but they've got humbuckers in, so you can get humbuckers or single coil sounds if whatever.
Yeah.
And they're the ones I use for the show because they're a bit more versatile. So I can pretty much.
Because you like to play around with guitars a bit, don't you? I mean, if anyone's wondering, by the way, if me and Lee did bump into each other in a pub, this is what we would be talking about.
Yes, we'll watch the views drop now because we're going to get geeky, aren't we?
Yes, so kind of like if we're in the pub, this is what we would normally talk about. So if you want to join the conversation each time, we sort of know we'll be talking about guitar pickups and stuff like that. Being pretty accurate, being a bit anoraks and stuff.
Yeah.
But so yeah, what about all your electronics and stuff? I mean, you obviously set them up as well yourself. I mean, is this something you just picked up over time?
Yeah, I don't do fretwork or like body refinishes because you need certain tools and stuff for that. But yeah, anything changing tuners or bridges or setups or electronics stuff, I tend to do all that myself. Just through learning on my own guitar.
Plug in and hope nothing happens.
Yeah, well, it's a little bit more refined than that, but yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
That's pretty much how it started. Yeah.
Because Lee is quite modest. I've got to tell you guys. I mean, Lee is a very modest gentleman, and so there's a lot more to it than just kind of putting a little bit of solder here and there. There's a little bit more thought behind it.
Yeah.
But it took a few years of practice on that, I'm sure. I used to do a little bit of it, but I tend to avoid it now.
I don't blame it. It is a bit of a minefield if you. Yeah, I've learnt more through mistakes than I have from YouTube and.
Yeah. So your gigs with ABBA, you say how many were you doing before lockdown?
We were probably average. Well, they probably did more, but the ones that we did with the band with them they were probably between 30 and 40 gigs a year. With that one band, and then obviously the Dylan stuff, and that was probably about the same actually. And then I was just filling the gaps with my solo stuff or a little bit of sound engineering stuff here and there, or guitar.
Hopefully we can persuade the guys to come. I meant to say some of the last kind of talks, but getting you guys down to Banbury at some point, get you down the mill, and be nice to see you.
Yeah, the Bob Dylan show did have a gig in May, I think, and 25th of May or something this year, but obviously that's not gonna happen now. But I think we're gonna be back there next year, so hopefully, fingers crossed.
Yeah. So with the other thing, obviously you don't. I mean, Steve, I was talking to last week, and he's a tribute band. They all dress up in the gear.
Oh, right.
Whereas you were saying that you're just at the back with your black on. You're out of the way, and that suits you all right. Thanks very much.
Yeah, exactly, mate. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
So what about the Bob Dylan story then? Can you tell us a little bit more about that? What's the setup with those guys?
That's I started that again through Al Parker. He was already involved with the ABBA show, so that's how I sort of got my foot in the door with those really. But yeah, the Dylan show's the same sort of setup. Guy called Bill Lennon, he plays Bob. He does the outfits, and he's got the correct guitars, and he sort of fronts the show. And then it's me and Al again, and then we've got a drummer called Phil and a keyboard player called Tom, and exactly the same sort of gig really. We're sort of first set we're dressed in black, and then second half we come out with white t-shirts and stuff on. But yeah, we're kind of the backing band, but that's fine by me.
Is the music that you play with Bob Dylan, is it a little bit more, dare I say, loose as far as I was
Yeah,
talking to obviously Steve was saying last week. It's people want to hear it absolutely spot on to the note
yeah,
as far as
exactly.
that
Which is what
album,
which
but
is
Bob Dylan's a little bit
yeah, exactly. I
more.
mean, the ABBA shows like that, obviously, because people know the songs inside out and they
Mm,
want to sing along to them.
mm,
So you've got to play them as they are, really. But
yeah,
yeah, the yeah, the Dylan stuff's a lot more jammed, really, because obviously he never played never played the same song, never played one song the same twice. So, but we kind of stick to a version of whatever song we're doing.
yeah.
And yeah, we sort of stick to that. But we'll be changing the show up. um, we'll probably do like a year tour of something. Last year was Isle of Wight, Isle of Wight 50th anniversary, Isle of Wight. And then the next year might be greatest hits or whatever. And yeah, so it's a rolling show, but it changes every year or so. You know.
Okay. As in the sets changed every
Yeah,
year or
yeah,
so.
the idea of it, to keep it fresh.
I mean, I was looking through at Bob Dylan's kind of back catalogue, not literally all of it. I mean, I just found out that 39 studio albums the guy's released.
Yeah, I know.
And,
I think he sold all his rights to all his songs. I think to a record company just last year, 600 songs. I think. So.
wow.
Yeah.
I mean, so there's plenty to pick from. So.
Well, exactly. Yeah, it's not like he skimped on any, did he? Really.
I think the earliest one about 1962 or something.
Really.
Quite incredible.
That's mad.
So, what about your guitar setup when you're playing the Bob Dylan tribute? Then, how does that?
I use
exactly
the same stuff, mate. Use my iPad. I've got for the ABBA stuff. I tend to use a slightly more overdriven sound, but I can clean it up with the other guitars if I just switch to single coils and turn the volumes down a bit. I've got every sound I need really for the ABBA stuff. But the Bob Dylan stuff's very much the same kind of sound all the way through. But you can sort of get away with a few pickup changes and stuff. But yeah, use exactly the same thing. Just my iPad with all my sounds on and me the lyrics.
So you haven't got your 4x12 behind you on that one?
No, I'm afraid not, mate. No, I haven't had one of them for a long time now. It's great.
That's good for when you get older. Keeping your back in position.
Yeah, exactly, mate.
Yeah. So we never kind of pre-asked this, but Bob Dylan riffs. I couldn't think of one myself. Anything that sticks out?
Yeah, you probably obviously Rolling Stone. That's pretty standard. Once upon a time, you dressed so fine, looking in the crime, didn't you? You know, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's a standard tune. What else have we got? Mr. Tambourine. We do Mr. Tambourine Man. Again, that's a bit of a cleaner sound. It's been a while since I played it. But yeah. There's no end of good stuff that he's done.
Yeah. You've got to be accurate with that sort of playing, haven't you? With those clean sounds.
Yeah. A lot of it is quite clean, really. Yeah. You can't sort of hide behind any distortion with that stuff. It's pretty. Even though it is jammed, you still got to be quite sort of on it, to keep up where people are going with it. Sure.
So, gig-wise with those guys, any sort of decent, I'll say decent, we're all decent gigs, but any memorable gigs or that you played with those guys?
Yeah, we did. I think my second gig with them was at G Live in Guildford. I don't know if you've heard of that place, but that's a big old theatre. We went to Romania, 2019. Did I think it was a Isle of Wight 50th anniversary gig. They had us and a CCR band and a Pink Floyd tribute, and that was Janis Joplin tribute. That was a good gig.
What CCR you got on that one?
Oh, Creedence Clearwater Revival.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not that cool.
No.
Great stuff. So I've also seen you play your solo stuff, Lee, and it's pretty popular. I've got to say, you get out there and do plenty of gigs, but you don't use electric so much for that, do you?
No, that's purely acoustic based, mate. I like to keep it pretty stripped back for that. Yeah, there's a fella.
I noticed
Sorry, go on.
When you play when you play your acoustic gigs, you the sound of the guitar in particular. I mean, I don't know if anyone out there play acoustic guitar. When you're just strumming away, it's quite hard to make a big sound. So you've got your own little technique, haven't you, to making that?
Yeah, I use open tuning. I'll give you a quick blast of that as well. Actually, I'll give you. This one should be in standard, I think. Yeah, so especially if you're just playing like a D chord, for example, in standard tuning, you can only hit the first. You'll know from playing guitar the 4 bottom strings, because the lowest D you can hit is an open D, which is it's a nice sound. But if you tune down to tune the bottom E down to a D, and then the top 2 strings down a full step, it's you can get a much fatter sound from. It's just nice to have that full. No matter what chord you play, where you're playing, you've always got at least 5 strings ringing.
Yeah, adds a bottom end to the whole thing, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's great when you're plugged into a decent PA. You can get some. If it's you can get so much clarity there as well, and like you say, you can get the bottom end that really fills out as well.
That tune is called Dadgad, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's D-A-D G-A-D. That's what it's tuned to. I think it's a Celtic tuning. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got. If you've got perhaps you can give us an example of maybe a part there, Lee, in that tuning. Give an example of how that guitar rings. That'd be great.
Yeah, sure. Well, the good thing about this is you can play melodies over the top.
While the low strings are sort of humming.
Exactly. So you can do things like the Tears for Fears song. You probably know this one. Because you can play so much of it in with the open D ring in the background. You can get the bottom, really get the bottom end ringing out as well. So you can do what you can do, a lot,
awesome.
quite a lot with it. Actually. Yeah, it's a good sound.
Makes you wonder why you'd learn guitar in standard tuning, wouldn't it? When it sounds like that.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, obviously all the electric stuff I do in standard because that's what I've learnt on. But Australian guy called Andy Walsh, mate of mine, he put me onto it years ago. I learnt a few tunes in it, and then I kind of. Because I didn't sort of dedicate enough time to learning it properly, I sort of left it for a while. But on acoustic, that's all I ever used now. It's just such a nice big sound. You can do so much with it as well.
Yeah. It's a nice instrument too. It's a nice small instrument. What brand is that?
It's a vintage Statesboro, they're called. A guy called Paul Brett designed them with vintage guitars. But again, it's just another sort of Frankenstein thing. When I bought it, there's no pickups in it, and the tuners are a bit clunky and stuff. But I stuck I don't know where you can see that. Stuck a little Fishman preamp in there.
That's cool.
So there's so there's a pickup in under the saddle, and there's I put a Seymour Duncan one in there that you can turn on and off via a little volume control, and you can send them to different outputs as well. So if you want to blend the two, you can get a nice little blend thing going on. But
so you go out to what different outputs? You mean like to a PA and on an amplifier? What do you mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean this the pickup in the saddle sounds. It's a nice sound, but you can tell it's an electric acoustic sound. But if you want something a bit more mellow, and you want sort of a mids to bring out a little bit, especially if you're finger picking, you can turn the neck one on, and it just adds a bit of sort of natural warmth to it, if you like. But yeah, it's I don't use it very often, but it's there if you need it,
Okay.
Yeah.
Give us another one there, Lee. Have you got another one up your sleeve you could play for us?
Yeah, man. Yeah, there's Stephen Stills tune. I don't know, this was what I think was probably quite an early one of his. Let's have a go. If you're down and confused and you don't remember who you're talking to, concentration slips away because your baby is so far away. 'Cause there's a rose in a big stick of love where the eagle flies in the dove. And if you can't be the one you love, now honey, I love the one you're with. Love the one you're with. You love the one you're with. You love the one you're with. That sort of thing.
Cool. I hope you're getting this out there, guys. Sounds absolutely fantastic. I know Facebook has a little problem with collecting all this sound in one go, so sometimes it can sound a little bit mushy. But if you get a chance to see Lee play, then I fully recommend it. It sounds amazing, especially that open tuning.
Yeah, it's nice.
Perhaps we'll come back and do another one of those in a second, Lee.
Yeah,
but you
cool.
You got some other little tricks up your sleeve there as well. You what's that question there, Lee? Did you ever learn 4 and 20 by CSNY? There's Toby with some.
Oh right, no, I don't know that one. No.
I'll
have to give that a crack.
There's one for us to learn, or you to learn. Okay, so. And I got a few other little things there, haven't you? You also play. What have you got behind you? Somewhere.
There's a lap steel somewhere.
Let's look at the lap steel then, because it's an interesting piece of kit, isn't it?
Basically all it is. It's I think it's just a lump of oak. I think Gary Reddy, for those of you who know Gary Reddy, I think his old man built this. But yeah, it's just a big old lump of oak. What made you
want to kind of give one of those a go then, Lee? What was your?
Well, he gave it to me actually, but I did have one. A few years ago. I used to be in a band with Matty Keith, and I played a few tunes with that one. But I'm well into me country rock stuff as well, and obviously a lot of the country rock stuff is based on this sort of thing.
And how wide's the neck there? I mean, it looks huge.
Yeah, it's big.
The
I mean, that's my hand over it. So it's a chunky old thing, but normally you just play it with a slide. I did have a proper slide for it, but I don't know where it's gone. But you can play it with the normal slide that you would play on a guitar if you like. But
yeah. And how's that tuned? Because it's tuned differently again, isn't it?
This
that
one's
instrument.
open A. And this one's got flat.
So those, yeah. So that means, so basically, if you strum the whole of the strings without touching it, plays
exactly, yeah.
An A major chord.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, there's flat wounds on there as well, so you don't get that sort of scratchy feel that you would on a normal electric. So you can.
Yeah.
It's kind of. But yeah.
Pete, it's okay. Pete Bryden, thanks for the message, man. He used to play in a band with Gary's dad, Roy.
Oh yeah, cool.
Alan Parker too, and as you mentioned earlier, you mentioned Al. That's Al Parker, who was a local musician. And Pete, you haven't got to shut up now. You can chuck some questions in. Yeah, that's absolutely awesome.
Was that Pete Bryden?
Yes, Pete Bryden.
Oh yeah. I know Pete.
Yeah. So that instrument you've got there. So do you use that to play? So you were playing with Matty with that, was that?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. This was going back a few. I don't know, 7 or 8 years probably. It was. I didn't use this one. I used an old one. I'm talking about, but yeah, I only used it on a couple of tracks. But it's just quite a nice sound, really, especially clean. I think Dire Straits used one on a few songs, and I just like the sound of them. Really, I'm not great at it, but it's just nice to have something.
Oh, likewise, yeah.
Something smooth.
I love it.
Different texture in it.
Yeah, sort of drenched with reverb and things. It can sound.
Yeah,
really...
exactly. Compress it to death and put some reverb on it, and
it sounds amazing. And you've also got another little trick behind you, I think, haven't you? Another.
Yeah, that's a.
Just called a cigar.
Cigar box somewhere. Yeah.
Cigar box, yeah.
Yeah, I used to use this one in a 3-piece Mississippi disco that I used to play in. This one's more of a sort of rough around the edges kind of thing.
So those of you who aren't sure what one of these things is, I think they became kind of popular from. Well, you tell us where did it really kind of?
Well, I think they've been around for years, but I think C6 Steve kind of made this sort of thing, It's that kind of rootsy, dirty rock thing,
Yeah.
That sort of horrible thing.
It's got a great tone. I mean, obviously it's such a simple looking instrument.
But I mean, it's just a hollow. It's not actually a cigar box. It's just a hollow box with a whole lump of wood running through it. But it's again, I'd stuck a pickup from an old electric guitar that I had kicking around, and it's all right. It's quite noisy if you're under some lights, when you're playing. It does buzz around quite a lot, but it's all part of it, It's just how it is. But it's and
that's tuned a bit differently as well, isn't it? Apparently.
Right? I think this was Open E. Yeah, Open E. Yeah, it's got the thick string from a standard guitar set, and then the top 2 strings, I think. So E, B, and E. Yeah. Yeah, it does sound pretty cool.
So, I mean, those of you who want to, take up an instrument, I mean, 3 strings.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What a sound you can incredible.
You can't get much. You can't get much easier than this, really.
That is really cool. That is absolutely amazing sounding. And you got the number plate on there as well, which kind of adds.
Yeah, I mean it just came with that. I think that's just it. I did have to cut a big hole in it to stick that pickup in, which is a shame. But yeah, that's pretty much how it came. Yeah.
So getting back to your gear a little bit there, Lee, what's important to you for getting a good sound? Is there any method or you could advise people on?
Yeah, I mean, compressor's always a good thing to have. What have I got on there? I've got an amp model from a Dr. Z amp, which is a kind of it's in the same sort of thing as 2 Rock and Matchless. That kind of clean amp that you can push a bit. Compressor, obviously an overdrive pedal, but I think I kind of treat the digital stuff the same as I do with my when I used to have a Marshall and crank a Marshall up and chuck a pedal in front of it and just use your guitar really to control how clean you want to go, or or.
And you do that with the digital stuff too, and that works.
Yeah, pretty much.
Responds the same.
Yeah, because I've got the guitars that I use with it. They've got humbuckers, and you can coil split them, so you can take them down to single coils. And even just having that option is you can get quite a few different sounds just straight out of the guitar. So, yeah, like I say, I've got what have I got on there? I've got a guitar amp, a compressor, an overdrive if I need it or not. There's an EQ that's always on, and there's a noise gate and a bit of reverb. And that's it really. That's all I use.
Yeah.
But, yeah, nice and simple.
Yeah, it was always trying to get a sound together over the years has always been a traumatic. I mean, guitarists trying to get a sound is.
No, mate, you buy and sell more gear than you know what to do with, don't you? But. But yeah,
probably it's a part of the fun, isn't it? Of having a kind of a big boys train set, if you like.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what it is, mate. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of when I was in a band with Johnny Evans, Mick Evans, Steve Lawn, Nicky Lawn, Screaming Ab Dabs. You probably saw the name knocking about.
Yeah, but because they're a great band. They're really good.
Yeah, it was good fun. But because we did such a wide range of stuff, obviously I had an amp and then I had a tuner and a chorus pedal and a delay pedal and 2 overdrives and an acoustic simulator, and it was just a nightmare, you know. So you had to learn how to dance more than play the guitar, you know, changing settings all the time. And then from one extreme to the other, when I was in the AC/DC tribute band, I had 1 overdrive pedal and a tuner and an amp, and that was it, you know. But it just depends what sort of sound you want. But yeah, I found sort of just having a decent amp or decent amp model and a compressor, bit of EQ if you need it, and an overdrive, and that's pretty much all I need at the moment, so that'll do for me.
That's amazing. Yeah, it's like go full circle almost when you
exactly
sort of first started on that.
Yeah, you've probably been through the same thing, haven't you?
Oh yeah, I'm still going through it. I haven't caught you up yet. I'm not that technical. I was born in the '60s.
Well, nor am I really, but I've kind of been forced into it. But I'm glad in a way because I've still been using crappy oldies. And...
I'll find my way at some point, you know. Yeah, well, I'm still pushing up kind of a mark to a tube amp in the house.
Have you had a? I think last time I saw you had a Cornford, didn't you? You still got that?
Still got a Cornford amplifier, amongst others, Cornford.
Right.
And I got a Fender Deluxe that sits here,
cool.
Which is nice, which I like the sound of mostly, probably.
Yeah.
But for some reason, Lee, am I still live with you? Because your screen's died here. You're there, but you're frozen. I don't know.
Okay, 1 second.
Oh, you're back.
Am I back? Cool. Okay, cool.
Yeah, you're back. So I was kind of worried. I was kind of like holding my breath for
for a
little while.
Fair enough.
And no, that's good. I'll tell you what. How about you give us another tune on that acoustic? Because I loved it. Can you get any more there for us?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Awesome.
Let's have a look.
I'm glad I'm putting you on the spot and not me on the spot.
Yeah.
So. We are live, folks. We are live.
Yeah, Chili Peppers. Let's have a Red Hot Chili Peppers tune.
Okay, why not?
Psychic spies from China try to steal your mind's elation. Little girls from Sweden dream of silver screen quotation. And if you want these kind of dreams, it's Californication. They are certain very well to break the spell of aging. Celebrity skin, is this your chin or is this all you're waging? Firstborn in a cold, hardcore softball. Dream of Californication.
I'm sure everyone's out there giving us a bit of a clap. That's awesome, fantastic. You've kind of frozen on me again, so it's kind of I'm in a bit of a weird place here. I'm looking at a frozen screen. Right. You're looking good, but it's frozen. So, can you hear me out there? Can you hear me there, Lee?
Yeah, let me just.
You're still there. If you can tweak anything again to get you back.
Let's have a look, mate.
I don't know if anyone can say if Lee's frozen out there or is he moving. I can't tell from where I am. I'm only seeing myself. He's kind of moving a little bit there.
Am I back with you, or is it still?
Yeah, you're back now. Thank you. That's great. Jamo Wilkinson, thanks, buddy. He just said that Lee's a great player. Got a few clappy hands.
Cheers, mate.
On which is lovely. You know, Nikki Lawn has sent you some clappy hands.
Nikki.
Toby, cheers, Toby. Clappy hands. Marcus Hendy got a thumbs up. Yeah, got some nice kind of clappy hands kind of coming in. Cool. Not frozen for viewing. That's really good. Thank you, Nikki, for letting us know. And it's still moving. Thanks, Rob.
Oh, good.
Brilliant. Kind of weird sat here kind of in lockdown in silence in my house with Lee's frozen image and just me staring back at myself.
Save it for later,
so I'm like, yeah, I have to wash it all back again. So yes, we talked a little bit about that. That's brilliant. Maybe we can get one more in before we go. But
yeah, cool, mate.
So if you got some advice, so that'd be great because you do teach as well. You just need to tell people if anyone's interested out there for lessons, especially in open tuning.
Yeah, definitely.
Lee's available for this. You can contact him via his webpage or YouTube or Facebook. You know, give him a shout because these musicians. And Lee's a full-time musician. He's a full-time. Giving himself to it. Oh well, yeah.
Yeah. I still am.
He still wants to be.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So if anyone wants to learn some guitar from probably the best guitarists around here, it's just be great to get some lessons with Lee.
Cheers,
give him a buzz. I've learned loads just watching Lee tonight. So I've had a free guitar lesson, which is awesome.
Yeah, mate, definitely. If you want to learn a bit more, let us know.
Yeah. So get in contact out there. It's if anyone's still off work, trying to think of things to do, why not? Everyone else is trying to kind of get in on the act. So
yeah, exactly.
Why not? Future gigs, anything planned for? So when's this all going to be starting for you, Lee?
Well, I've got one in May in Rugby, a venue called Cave. That's a cool place. It's a rocky bikers bar. Just doing
CAV or was it Clever?
Yeah, Cave. Yeah, just doing some acoustic stuff. I played there in October, I think, last year. I've got a wedding in September to play at, but apart from that, mate, that's about it this year at the moment. I might get a few more towards the end of the year, but most of the theatre shows have been moved to 2022 now anyway. So,
all right. So do you have nothing booked up with the other acts then this year?
No, I mean we've got. I think we've got one with the Dylan show, but we're just treating it as a one-off thing. September, I think. But yeah, we've had loads of gigs between the two shows and my solo stuff. I've had nearly 100 gigs cancelled this year, but most of the theatre shows have been moved to next year, so we're not really losing out. But it's just just a long time.
Yeah, I kind of heard some. Yeah, I heard some news today. The party in the park that happens near Banbury in Atterbury has been cancelled. Postponed anyway, so it may happen, but it's been postponed from June.
I think the Fairport thing's still going ahead. August, middle of August, I think.
Okay.
In Cropperty, so hopefully that'll still happen, but who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah. Okay. Well, how about we have one more tune, Lee?
Yeah, cool, man.
Is that all right?
Yeah.
So have one more tune, and I think we can get back to drinking. I think.
Mate. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Here's one more tune, then, my friend.
I'll try something a little bit different.
Hopefully, you won't cut out on me this time.
Am I still with you, mate?
You're still with me.
Good. I've not got my lyrics in front of me this time, so I might. Actually, yes, I have. I might cheat. I might cheat and do a full song.
You didn't have to tell us that.
Let me. Well, I've got. Yeah.
Now you know the tricks of the trade.
Mate, I tell you, I need them. It's.
Well, you've got. I don't know how many songs would you do typically in a set, Lee? If you're doing your own.
Well, let's have a look. In my acoustic set, I've got 77 songs. I don't play them all, obviously, every night. But there's 77 songs. In my acoustic set, and then the ABBA show, there's two 1 hour sets, so that's probably 24 songs, and then probably the same with the Dylan show actually. So it's 130 songs between all of them. So my memory's not that good.
Yeah. You've got to be doing them regularly as well. So.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, yeah, I was, but obviously not. Not lately, but yeah.
What are you going to do for us then, Lee? What have you got lined up?
I'll have a little go at a Beatles tune, mate.
Okay.
Why not?
This is in open tuning, folks, as well, so we're going to get a nice big fat acoustic sound. Hopefully.
I normally do this a couple of frets up, I think, but we'll go with it. Get down there somehow. Had a girl, or should I say, she once had me. She showed me her room, isn't it good? Norwegian wood. She asked me to stay in the morning, told me to laugh. So I looked around and I noticed there wasn't a chair. Sat on a rug, biding my time, drinking her wine. We talked until 2, and then she said, it's time for bed.
Beautiful. Thanks, Lee. That is awesome. Such a great sound with that, tuned down even further, because you normally sing it up a couple of frets more than that. So
I normally play it in E. I normally capo on the second, but yeah, it's just a great sound. The ability to do you can do things like Moon Shadow. Play melodies over the top of it, and it's just once you get your head around it, it's just revelation,
Yeah, it does sound magic, like you say. It's inspirational, and it's got a lovely. It makes you want to play more, doesn't it? When you get that kind of sound coming back again.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, like I said before, when you play electric, it's fine because you can rock out a little bit and get some overdrive on it and make it sound big anyway, but. I just find I don't know, just playing normal chords on acoustic just bores me really. But it's just nice to be able to have something. It's almost like a different instrument really, because you're playing obviously a normal D you could play as you would do, but on here it's a totally different thing,
Yeah,
And then you play the same thing on the 7th fret, and it's a minor chord. You know, you think.
It's like you said, though, it's kind of just completely learning a new instrument.
Yeah, it is, but it's it's nice though. It's a good sound to experiment with as well. Yeah, you're always always finding new shapes and new places to start a song. You think, oh, that won't work, but actually, because the intonation is totally different on it, you sort of come across things by accident a lot of the time. You know?
Yeah. Oh, that's fantastic. Lee, listen, that's been really informative, you know, and I know everyone watching you has been mesmerised, I'm sure, by your playing, and it's really great to hear. You know, it's really good. It's really great to hear about how you go about playing in a theatre band as well. I mean, there's stuff on YouTube that guys can go and check out. The Bob Dylan story.
Yeah.
And thank Allah for the music. You know, they're there to be booked for whenever we can get out there and play.
Yeah, definitely, man.
So come and check them out. If you've obviously got your own YouTube site as well, so go and check Lee out on that.
Yeah, if you find Lee Chambers Music, it's on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. It's all the same name. So yeah.
And we didn't mention that you run your own PA system as well. So
yeah, I'll do a little bit of that. Yeah, I mean, I bought most of it because when I was in the AC/DC band, we wanted something that's got a bit of power to it, you know, because that's what you want with AC/DC. And I've kind of since I've not been playing with them, I've thought about selling it, and then I thought, well, I won't get much for it if compared to what I paid for it new, so I'll keep it and upgrade it, and I've used it for a couple of the Dylan theatre shows, and it's worked pretty well. So I'll keep it for however long. If I can't find somewhere to store it, if I leave here, then I'll sell it. But it's good. It's good stuff to have. Definitely.
Yeah. I mean, if anyone's out there needs a PA, with a guy to run it, then
yeah. I've done a few outdoor festivals and stuff with it, and it's
awesome. All right, my friend. Well, I've taken up enough of your time, I think.
That's all right, mate.
Thank you again for being so open and willing. I really, really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem,
and being put on the spot is pretty impressive, And so thank you so much, Lee. Thank you
right,
so much.
Good to see you.
Yeah, nice one. Next week, everyone, I've got another guest lined up. Next Thursday, same time, same place. Which is exciting and nice. And so until then, I look forward to it. And any comments you'd like to make, and of course, please check out Lee if you get opportunity. Thanks again, Lee.
Cheers, buddy. No worries, mate.
Bye from the not just a front man, Lee Chambers. Thanks very much, my friend.
Cheers, bud. Take care, mate.
We'll see you soon.
Take care, buddy. Bye-bye.